Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Welcome back.
We're back with a video about space. We want to discuss these SpaceX launches that happened. What's today? Wednesday. So, what day did it happen? Sunday?
Saturday.
So we're a little bit late to the party on this one. We meant to do a video, but we were so busy working it, so it didn't get a chance to. I want to talk about the SpaceX launch with the two astronauts on Saturday because I think it was pretty historic. That the first time since the space shuttle that some astronauts have gone off American soil to the space station, which I think is pretty amazing, especially with the fact that it's a private space company. Granted, I know NASA did give them some funds, when they first started, because they almost failed originally.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if it was NASA that was doing this, it would have probably taken them about like another 10 years just to do it. But since it's SpaceX, which is owned by Elon Musk,
Yeah.
and Elon Musk owns Tesla and a whole bunch of other companies, like the biggest rich person on Earth. And, we both watched it, and like you said, it was very historic and very incredible. I mean, that they launched American astronauts from American soil to the International Space Station. And it's just incredible because, I mean, SpaceX and NASA have so many missions they have planned out for the next like 10 to 15 years. I mean, SpaceX is going back to Mars, I heard, by 2024. NASA is set to send a rover this year, I believe, into
it'll be
Mars.
pretty incredible if SpaceX is able to pull it off. I mean, I know 2024 is only 3.5 years away,
Yeah.
for almost 4 years away. To be incredible if you could do that. I know Elon Musk is determined to make these
Rockets.
rockets that carry not just a few people, maybe like 100 people at a time, to go to Mars, which
Would be
I
incredible.
I don't know if he's going to pull it off or not. But Elon Musk has done more in the last decade than NASA has done in the last 20 years. I mean, I guess maybe because it's a private company, there's no red tape. He just this is what's happened, and they do it. Like they now have their second stage uh, rockets are able to land back down to Earth safely, so they can reuse them, which is incredible. NASA could never pull that off.
I know.
It's why it would cost so much money, and they're saving millions of dollars being able to reuse the same stages over and over again.
And I think it's also incredible too with when the launch happened, because the rocket they used, that Elon Musk designs and makes and all that, what SpaceX makes, basically the rocket would go up, deliver the astronauts or whatever to where it's supposed to go. Then the rocket, because normally what happens is the rocket, I think it usually burns up and like turns into ash the moment it comes back to Earth. But the rocket Elon Musk uses, it's programmed to land on its own.
Well, that's what I was just saying. The second stage lands on its own. I think it's the second stage. I believe that lands back on
Earth.
a floating carrier somewhere that he has. So this one I know landed perfectly, so no damage was done to it, which is pretty amazing.
And they've done tests on rockets like these for years, and sometimes when they do test and they on TV or whatever, sometimes like it will blow up, or sometimes it won't blow up, but like it will just like fall into water and crash. But this one was successful. I mean, this one launched and landed down perfectly,
Yeah,
which was incredible.
And the astronauts are saying that how much easier it is to pilot compared to with the shuttle. I mean, it's all what do they call it, autonomous. So they have these it looks like smart TVs in front of them. And the rocket pretty much does all the work, although they can fly manually if needed.
If something were to happen,
Yeah, so
it's pretty much like a Tesla vehicle. Tesla vehicles are autopilot, so that's basically autopilot, so it flies by itself.
yeah, they said
Without touching it.
they said that there were certain parts that were a little bit smoother on the shuttle and a little rougher on
Going on.
and the Dragon, and obviously there's gonna be pros and cons to each one. Although they did say that it had a new car smell, and it's just parts that were definitely smoother, like them when they docked with the International Space Station. They said it was really smooth. They said with the shuttle, you could feel like a jolt, and you knew you were docked. But they said with this, you almost couldn't feel it. which is pretty amazing that it was able to do
Yeah,
that all on its own.
and it's crazy too because they gave a tour of what the capsule looks like
Yeah,
inside
so at
when
this
they're
moment,
sitting there.
Dragon is going to
And
be
there's like
resuming the
6
approach.
different
As we
tablet
heard them
screens. Like one of
informing
them
the crew,
shows
they're
like
going to have
Earth
that
and then the
one
space.
final
Like,
hold
then
when
it
they're
shows
just
like
20
how
meters
fast
away.
they're
That's
going.
going to be at
I
waypoint
think
2.
the highest
We're
they went was
expecting
to
it
go
to
over like
be a
2,000
brief
miles
hold
per hour, which is
while the
crazy.
teams all tag
I
up
mean, like imagine
and do
sitting
a
there
final
and
go.
you're
No,
Move
it's so
in
fast. I
for
thought
docking.
it was like 17,000 miles.
Use for a
Really?
lot of the
Yeah,
attitude
it
control
really
and any
fast.
small
Wow.
translational maneuvers
That's
like we
incredible.
I
just
forget how many
watched Bob
G's
and
they said they were
Doug
doing. It was really
execute with their
incredible.
second manual flight
Especially a
test.
rocket can go that fast.
Yeah, and I think the capsules are built to hold 6 astronauts. But I think this was just a test.
So
of
we're
it,
closing in
two.
at less
Obviously,
than
you
a
don't want
tenth
to
of a
endanger
meter
too
per
many human
second
lives
at this
one time.
point.
So I think
You can
doing
see
the
the
test for
surface
2
section
was
Draco is just
you know,
doing all these
a
very
little bit
small,
safer.
minor
It's
attitude
going to be interesting
corrections.
when it comes back down to Earth.
Really, the
they said
autonomous
that
docking
that's
system at
more
work,
dangerous than it launch
making sure
because
that the
they have to hold that their heat
vestibule and the
shield
self-capture
and,
system
holds
is
up and
lined
everything,
up
so it doesn't
with
burn up.
IDA2.
At
And
the
the
hands-off
atmosphere
point, the
would
chomp
be
crew
pretty bad
hands-off
for
point,
the
1 meter to go.
for SpaceX if it didn't work out. But so far so good. Everything's good. One is planned. You know the astronauts. I figured they have 1 to 3 months. I believe it is not very long. And then they'll be coming
Yeah.
back down to Earth. Hopefully they come back safe.
Soft capture
Yeah,
complete.
I'm sure they will.
Dragon
If they're up
confirmed.
there safely, they can come down safe. But you never
Capture
know. I mean,
confirmed. Stand
you know,
by for
sometimes
retraction and
with space
docking.
launches, you never know what may happen. I mean, things can go smoothly for 1 minute or a second, and then something bad may
And
happen.
we just
But
heard it.
I'm not
soft
worried because I
capture.
mean, a
We
lot of these
have
rockets
docking
now are very
that coming
advanced technology.
at
and
7:16
compared to
a.m.
rocket launches
Pacific time,
back
with
when
the station
JFK
and
was
Dragon flying
president during the-
262
I mean,
statute
rockets
miles
like that
right
during
over
that
the
time when
border
they
between
first
northern
sent,
China and
like
Mongolia.
Buzz Aldrin and all them to the moon. Like the rockets there, a lot of people work is like it's not really safe like
Those
this.
guys had some guts, man. That was back then, back in the 60s, and they've gone up into rockets. The technology was so new.
And then you look at the technology today;
Yeah.
it's incredible. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, now they got lawnmowers that mow people's lawns by themselves. You got cars that drive by itself, even robots. I mean, it's
Yeah.
incredible this technology what
Yeah,
people come up with.
I think it's pretty amazing how far Elon Musk has gone with this company. I think it's great that a private company, doesn't put it up with any red tape, no nonsense.
Yeah.
He just says, let's see, this is what we're going to do, and one way or the other, it's going to happen. Like he wants these spaceships he wants to build that send people to Mars is incredible. If he makes this happen, it'll be historic. I mean, to send 100 people at a whack to
Well,
to
I don't
Mars,
think is he really gonna do it at one time, 100 people at one launch,
Yeah.
or
I don't know if he's well. Obviously, then it'd be like anything else. There would be a test, to be tested. So they would first do unpiloted, a few times, and they would stick 2 guys in a few times, just to launch into orbit and come back.
yeah.
But they wouldn't send 100 people to Mars all right. The first time, obviously, they would test the
'cause
rocket over and over before
what's
they do that.
the rocket that NASA's building, the SLS rocket,
Yeah.
isn't how many? So originally to get to Mars, it takes what like 4 years or something
No,
to get.
like 6 months. If the planets line up the right way, it is the planets of the orbit of Mars. If it goes too far from Earth, yes, it would take like years to get there. But when Mars comes closer to Earth, they time it just right, so it would take the least amount of time. So
Yeah.
they think they can get there in 6 months or less.
But according to Elon Musk at SpaceX, he claims he can get everyone there by like 3 months. Now, I, as a person that's very skeptic of that, I highly doubt. But Elon Musk pulled off the biggest
he
historic
says-
launch in
He
history.
doesn't lie. He doesn't make stuff up. So he probably honestly believes that it's going to be 3 months, which would be incredible.
And I think, and especially too, because I watched. He did a briefing. I think it had to be like a year or 2 years ago, or whatever, and it basically shows the timeline. So according to what he's stating, he's going to Mars in like 2024. NASA ain't going for the next 6 more years. So if Elon Musk can get to Mars with humans by that in just 4 years from now, that
Yeah.
would be major
Yeah,
achievement.
it would be huge.
And
Yes.
I don't know what the United States government would do, but I mean they can't do anything. It's a private company.
No, we obviously assist him. I mean, he still works with NASA. I mean, he doesn't go really go try to go around NASA, but his company can do what they want. They don't have to go to the
Federal government
they don't,
funded.
yeah, the
or-
government's nonsense of. That's one reason why NASA takes so long to do something, because they only get funding for certain things, and they get funding pulled from things. So it's like they might be 6 months into a new satellite, and the government says, no, you're not doing that. Stop all progress, and they just pull funding from it.
Yeah. And
what I-
especially that I heard NASA's going back to the moon by 2024, which I think was like a few years earlier than what
Yeah.
they originally. I think they were supposed to go in like 2020, 2030
Yeah, they
or
need to get
something.
back to it. It's been so long since they've been. I can't believe it's been this long.
I heard that if they go, they're gonna build like a military base up
I
there,
think that's ridiculous. Say military base, you should build something else. Something I don't know.
probably like a little campus or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think they should do
Yeah.
it. So we're gonna try to do some more of this space. If anything really great interest come up, I'm not gonna do anything that's minor that nobody's
Yeah.
gonna want to listen to.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna wrap it up. And if you guys have any thoughts or comments, put them down below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
Until next time.